is. Um, Welcome all again. My name is Dr. Melissa Sannon. I'm the Assistant Director for the DEI office in O'Neill, and I just welcome you all. And I just want to let you all know that we are recording, so please be aware of that. And we love to see your faces, so if you keep your video on, that is perfectly okay with us as well. So I am going to turn it over to, before I turn it over, I would like to talk about our office and the individuals who are within our office. We have four graduate assistants, two on the Bloomington campus and two on the IUP campus. And then we have the interns who are under our Bloomington campus. And we thank them so much for all their hard work and dedication. We have three individuals who are graduating this year. So it's a great thing that they're graduating. We're sad to see them go, but we are loving all the work that they have done with us and for us. And next, I would like to introduce Jackson Bell, who's our a student intern. He's a freshman here on the Bloomington campus, and he will talk a little bit about the start of this event and how it came into conception.
My name is Jackson Bell, and my first task that I was assigned here was the DEI Student Leadership Awards. The purpose of our event is to recognize our O'Neill students that are doing great works in DEI areas. 5 awards will be presented to students on both the Bloomington and IUPUI campus. I'm really proud of having put this event together and really glad that we got a little bit of money to give to our undergraduate and graduate Students of the Year. Really excited to see how it goes, and I will turn it back over to our next speaker, which is Caitlin.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Caitlin King. I am a diversity ambassador for the office, and it's my pleasure to introduce the Faculty of the Year Award. The of the Year Award recipient um, is someone who has made significant efforts towards promoting the diversity, equity, and inclusion-based initiatives both in and outside of the classroom. So this year, we've awarded 2 faculty members from the IUPUI campus. Congratulations to Dr. Cullen C. Merritt and Dr. Jamie Levine Daniel. So I'll now turn things over to McKaylee.
Dr. Merritt joined the O'Neill School at IUPUI in 2014, and he studies the implications of an organization's publicness on its management strategy and performance. Additionally, he illuminates the management competencies integral to addressing complex public service challenges and the strategies that enable organizations to develop these competencies. His nominator said, Dr. Merritt has been such a role model for me thus far at IUPUI. I had him my first semester of my freshman year, and he has impacted me in so many ways and still reaches out to me to this day.
Hello, everyone. I want to start by saying that I am grateful, humbled, and excited to receive the Faculty of the Year Award from the O'Neill Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. I want to thank the individual or individuals who nominated me for this recognition. And I also want to thank the O'Neill Office of DEI for organizing this recognition. It takes a tremendous amount of work to recognize the accomplishments of others in this space. And I want to thank those who put all of this together. I want to state, too, that I wish I was there with you or here with you. I am currently receiving my COVID vaccine. It was scheduled during the time of this ceremony. And so please know that it would only take something of that degree of importance for me to miss an important occasion like this. So know that I truly regret not being here to share this time with you. When Dr. Sannon, Melissa Sannon, informed me that I received this recognition, she sent me an email. And in the second paragraph of this email, she states that students have chosen you because you have made significant impact both in and outside of the classroom, promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so while folks are here to honor me among numerous other award recipients, I want to take some time to thank the students. Thank you, students, for helping me be optimistic, more optimistic, and less cynical. I want to thank you for being fearless and for teaching me to have courage. It takes a tremendous amount of resilience, perseverance, and fearlessness to fight for issues that interface with diversity, equity, and inclusion. And anytime I'm feeling discouraged, I look at the work that students are doing and I'm reminded that I have a responsibility to step up my game when it comes to fighting for diversity, equity, and inclusion. I don't believe an award is a culmination of one's achievements. I actually believe that it is a call to further action. So I want to state quite clearly that when it comes to diversity, equity, inclusion, and social justice, that I want to keep fighting. I want to help make O'Neill a better place. I want to help make the world a better place. I want to help make IUPUI a better place. I want to help make any place I step into a better place. And when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion, I believe it's totally worth it. And I believe that I have a responsibility to fight for these issues, even if it makes me or other people uncomfortable. I want to thank you all again for this recognition. It means more to me than I can express. And know that I'm grateful to work with other individuals who are also committed to fighting for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Thank you so much.
All right, now we'd like to honor our second recipient of the Faculty of the Year Award, Dr. Jamie Levine Daniel. So here to read the personal nomination for Dr. Jamie Levine Daniel is Shonda Nicole Gladden. So Shonda Nicole, I'll turn things over to you.
Thank you so much. It is my honor to come and to honor my professor. As I said in my nomination, Dr. JLD, as she allows us to fondly call her, is like a freshwater stream in a desert place. I'm a single mothering full-time PhD student who wears many hats throughout the community. And I'm often stretched thin by the time I actually arrive to her evening classes. But it is Dr. JLD's pedagogical expertise and her adaptability, especially during COVID, that has enabled me to flourish and find rejuvenation even during late evening classes. Her energy is infectious. Her willingness to courageously confront race and disenfranchisement in a clear, concise, and honest way provides space for students from all walks of life to see themselves positively reflected in the solutions we co-create in class. I may not know all of the faculty members at O'Neill, but what I do know is that Dr. Jamie Levine Daniel exceptionally enhances the school's diversity, equity, and inclusion footprint. What makes this truth even more impressive to me is that she doesn't seem to do this necessarily for the prestige. She doesn't seem to be motivated by honors and awards such as this, but she seems to truly care about her students. How do I know this to be true? Because last semester, at the beginning of this semester, rather, Dr. JLD and I were working on a grant to fund some future research that we were working on together. When she learned that her father was nearing the end of life, she dropped everything to go and be present with her family, but she did not let me know that she was gone. I had no idea even that her father had passed away until she came back, because she had consistently remained communicative and she consistently remained concerned about our work, the work that she had invested in her student when she was still dealing with the death and the loss of her father. And so Dr. JLD deserves this award and many others for the selfless ways that she cares about all of her students, but especially for how she has enlivened me as a Black woman, as a mom, as a community advocate, to strive towards accomplishing my dream of earning this terminal PhD. And so Dr. JLD, congratulations. I am so excited and honored that they are honoring you because you truly deserve this award.
Oh, Shonda Nicole, I had some thoughts prepared. I'm gonna need a moment to come back to them. So in O'Neill, we teach our students who are public and nonprofit leaders who want to make a difference to address wicked problems that are societal level, communal level, and don't have easy solutions. These problems often they relate or are sourced from inequities and lack of access to opportunities and resources. We don't really need to look further than our own campus, seated on the territorial lands of the Miami, the Shawnee, and the Potawatomi people. And more recently, it's a neighborhood, the university is grappling with its own history of displacement of residents, historically Black residents and residents of color that were displaced when the university was founded in 1969. We teach our students to make a difference, and in order to address the community needs and society needs, I firmly believe that our students need to be able to critique technical rationality and a hyper focus on efficiency above all other outcomes. Our students need to have cultural competencies. They're dealing with communities, increasingly diverse communities, increasingly diverse stakeholders, increasingly diverse staff and volunteer bodies. And they need to be able to demonstrate ethical approaches to power at both the individual and organizational levels. This is what informs my teaching. It took me a while to figure this out, and it stemmed from a question about 3 years ago, after the shooting in Pittsburgh at the Tree of Life Synagogue. My colleague and friend, Dr. Rachel File, asked me, how are you going to talk about this in your classroom? And honestly, it stumped me. I, as a Jewish woman who spent a decade and a half working in Jewish communal service, had no idea how to balance this aspect of my identity with how and why I should make other people care about it. So this started an odyssey along with Dr. File and my colleague and friend, Dr. Jody Benenson. We wrote an article, How to Talk About Anti-Semitism in Our MPA Classrooms and Beyond. Our focus happened to be on anti-Semitism. It was informed by our own experiences, but really what it was an exercise in how to talk about othering and why talking about othering matters, why we should care and why our students should care about racism, about sexism and misogyny, about anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, homophobia, all these other types, and especially given the nature of the challenges that we expect our students to address as they work and study with us and graduate and move on to working in their communities. So that odyssey started from a very personal level. I have been very lucky to have the support of people like Dr. Dennis Fortenberry in the School of Medicine, who helped me navigate through a year of mentorship, more than a year, I guess it was officially a year on the books. But he helped me navigate my own journey and how to be myself in the classroom and be true to the students. I actually went back and looked at my application for the mentorship program, and it said something about wanting to be neutral or have a neutral classroom. Well, I've come to realize that neutrality doesn't cut it, obviously. And so all of these beliefs in how to best prepare our students are now evident in the work that I do and drive the work that I do. I'd like to thank the O'Neill School, especially the DEI office, my co-chair for the DEI committee at IUPUI, Carly Turner, and our committee members for the work that they're doing. The support of Tom Stuckey, who has written any number of letters of reference for me as I continue to take on this type of work. But most importantly, I want to thank the students. I echo Dr. Merritt's sentiment that reading that the students nominated me, that this was a student nominated award, means more to me than you all could possibly know. Because a lot of what I do is driven by wanting to best serve students. I want to thank my students who have been in the classroom with me, who have felt comfortable enough in and out of my classroom to ask the uncomfortable questions of me and of their peers. And not only to ask these questions, but to expect answers. I am so impressed. I'm continuously blown away by the work you do in my classroom and in the classroom of others and outside in our communities in the name of O'Neill and in the name of your own identities and your own organizations and your own selves. I hope that you will always continue to hold me and others accountable to what we say we will do and to continue to push us and expect us to do better. As Sean and Nicole mentioned, my dad passed away a couple of months ago. He was a Cleveland media figure, and he was the self-proclaimed voice of truth and reason. Mostly he used that voice for sports, but I'd like to think he did this award both for what it represents and for who stood by the nominations. So in his honor, I will just close by saying that of all the awards I've ever received, this is the most recent. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those thoughtful words. Just this, just being new to O'Neill, but hearing the impact that each and every one of you have on our students, on our faculty and staff. We just really, really thank you all so much for your great efforts. Next, we will have the Diversity Impact Award. And I would like to say congratulations to Director Mike Bennett, the Director of Information Technology here within O'Neill. The Diversity Impact Award recipient is a staff member who has demonstrated exceptional support of and made extraordinary contributions to diversity, equity, and inclusion in all shapes and forms. Congratulations, Mike. I will now have Young say a few words.
Hi. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Young Chang. It's my honor to nominate the Mike Bennett as award in recognition of his outstanding leadership and efforts in DEI activities. He has worked with the O'Neill School and UITS at the Indiana University. And as a director of O'Neill IT team, he has been vital in helping his team's minority staff's concerns and problems. He truly contributed to change the view of the current United States DEI environment. He also works with the DEI office to show that staff have role models and represent their diverse and inclusive population. And I believe his effort will change the view of DEI and enhance them in our school and community. What he is promoting and supporting at the DEI activities at the O'Neill School includes, and the first thing he buy and share the DEI related books at the office, the library. And then the second, he organized weekly DEI discussion. So we watch the DEI video, like the LGBT or Times Race June video series. After that, and we shared our sort of the DEI matters. And then also we shared our sort of George Floyd death and Atlanta Asian American shootings, and then talked about how to solve the problem or how to improve these bad situations. And third, he consults with his team members if they want any help about DEI matters. And the fourth, he is making an effort to support O'Neill DEI office. And finally, the fifth, he keep working on how to contribute DEI matters at school and community. So our IT team is very proud of him and very happy to have him on staff at the O'Neill School. So we highly recommend him as nominated and Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Leadership Award. And then he finally got. We are very happy. Our team is very happy to. I mean, he got this award. He deserved it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Young.
Hello, my name is Mike Bennett. I'm the Director of Information Technology at the O'Neill School of Public and Environmental Affairs. First, I'd like to thank Assistant Director Dr. Melissa Salmon. Always being so willing to work with. I also want to welcome Rachel Brooks.
Jackson, may we have more volume on that?
Welcome to the team, Rachel.
Yeah, unfortunately, this video is just very quiet. This is right now my computer's volume is turned all the way up, and the PowerPoint volume is turned all the way up. So unfortunately, there's not much more I can do to boost the volume. Is it okay if we still play the video?
Yeah.
We're glad you're here. I can't thank you all enough for my selection for the Diversity Impact Award. While I accept this award, I have to admit it feels a bit undeserved. First 40 years of my life, I would have told you I'm not racist. I thought all racism was intentional and deliberate. I had basically no understanding of implicit bias, and I certainly always thought I was completely objective. Until May 25th, 2020, I would not have been able to provide an adequate distinction between equity and equality. It took the internationally televised murder of George Floyd, as well as a global pandemic that had a lopsided and
Sorry,
massive...
we cannot hear. I personally can't hear, but thank you so much for the effort. Thank you so much, Mike, for what you've done and what you continue to do for the DEI efforts that you are doing, especially in your staff and within our office. So thank you all. Next, we'll talk about the organization of the year, and I will turn it over to Michaela.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Michaela. I am a new Student Diversity Ambassador this semester, and I am honored to be able to present the Organization of the Year to the Students for Equity in Public Affairs. The award recipient must have made significant accomplishments in efforts towards promoting principles of diversity, equity, and inclusion. This can be done within organization initiatives by student leadership and/or club-wide initiatives and projects that demonstrate a focus on DEI-related subjects. Congratulations to the Students for Equity in Public Affairs, and this year's president for this organization is Sean Karana, and he sent us a few words to play.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sean, and I am the current president of SEPA, Students for Equity in Public Affairs. And on behalf of the entire SEPA board, I'd like to thank you all for selecting us to be the recipients of the O'Neill Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Student Organization of the Year Award. This semester, our team has been working hard on our 2021 SEPA survey, as well as planning our first SEPA symposium titled DEI Skills for Future Leaders. And so I'd really like to extend thank yous to my board members, Dennis Vera, Nissan Zukafly, Emily Mee, Sarah Congress, and Sonia Nussbaum for all their hard work, as well as a thank you to Dr. Amanda Rutherford, our advisor, and Dr. Melissa Sannon for all their support this semester. We as a board are especially happy to have received this award given all the challenges that have come up this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So thank you again for acknowledging all our work this semester, and we hope to see you on April 16th at the SEPA Symposium.
Congratulations, SEPA.
All right, so our next award is Research of the Year. The award-winning paper has been researched with the goal of being used as an aid for significant accomplishments in efforts towards promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. This year, the team was Natalie Juzzi and Lee Feng, who developed an educational program for the CASE competition to develop an approach to influence policy and combat the opioid crisis in Indiana, titled Educational Program to Prevent, Reduce, and Eliminate Opioid Misuse Among High School Students. The mission of the research was to prevent, reduce, and eliminate opioid abuse by providing effective education to Indiana's youth through an evidence-based prevention program. The research also won an award at the GT IDEA Conference on Healthcare and Life Sciences Luddy Data Jam. Now we will hear a few words from Natalie Juzzi.
Thank you, Caitlin, for the great introduction. First of all, I want to thank everyone for attending the ceremony today and showing your support. And a special thanks to Dr. Melissa Senin and the DEI office for the award. And thank you for the team who's put this award ceremony together. I would also like to dedicate this award to my teammate, Li Feng, for her hard work and enthusiasm during our research in the CASE competition with Grant Thornton. And I really appreciate the nomination and being awarded this award. So actually, this is my first semester at Indiana University, and I'm so delighted that I made the decision to come here. In the past 3 months, Indiana University and the DEI office has given me so many opportunities to grow personally and professionally, such as being part of CASE competitions, being involved in several projects, and right now I'm pursuing a fellowship with Red Cross as a disaster management fellow. So actually, I remember my first week of orientation. I was so nervous and so excited to begin my master's in healthcare management. And I remember in my 5th day of orientation, Dr. Melissa Sanin, as well as Sabrina and Dennis, they came to speak with my cohort. And they gave us the opportunity to be part of the DEI office as student diversity ambassadors. And right away, I was very excited to sign up, and I contacted Melissa and I was like, I'm very interested. How can I apply? And now I'm actually working with 2 fantastic teams on 2 research projects, along with Sabrina and Dennis with the DI office, and I look forward to bringing excellent results. Again, thank you, Dr. Melissa and Sabrina and Dennis, for giving me the opportunity to work with you both. Additionally, I want to thank my program director, April Grudai, for her constant support and for always pushing us to do great things. I do also want to extend the award to my family. Without my parents and my sister's support, I would not be here. So my parents gave me their support by allowing me to pursue my education in the US 6 years ago. And I'm incredibly grateful for them to let me chase my dreams. And they're actually right now in this Zoom call. It's 12 a.m. back home. So they're in Qatar. It's 12 a.m., but they're skipping their bedtime to be here, and I'm very grateful for that. And again, this award is a motivation for me to always keep striving for success. And I'm so happy to be accomplishing big things with the support of my Indiana University family, my DEI family, and as well as my family beside me. And again, as a registered dietitian and a future transformational healthcare leader, I want to serve the community with cultural competence, health equity, and strong leadership. Thank you again for this award.
Thank you so much, Natalie. That was wonderful. And you are already the practitioner. You are already doing this work. So we are so proud to have you. Just circling back, I know you heard a few times about the student diversity ambassador. So I just wanted to inform everyone what are those, right? And so the DEI office currently has over 20 student diversity ambassadors. These are volunteers who help make our projects, our research, our activities and workshops. They are helping us strive to be as equitable as we can, inform us, and also continue to elevate the voices of others and create the changes that we strive to do in the DEI office within O'Neill School. And so we thank the ambassadors so much for all the work that they have been helping us do this semester. So just wanted to plug them in. And now we're gonna talk about the Undergraduate Student of the Year. Congrats to Kai Freeman. The Undergraduate Student of the Year award recipient has made significant accomplishments in and out side of the classroom to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. We are so proud to have Kai with us this evening. But before we hear a little bit from Kai, we would like to hear from Susan Cena.
Hi, everybody. Hope you can hear because introduced to YouTube campus. He was inviting everybody to follow the social media of the BSU. And he served to the IU Police Department and also helped to found the Rainbow Coalition Bloomington IU Student Government. Let me turn my, because I think that we have too many people streaming things here from my house. I hope this might be a little better sound. He also was an organizer of the Enough is Enough protest in Indianapolis. So from a faculty perspective, Kai is also a great student to have in class. I'm from Melissa that my sound is bad. So am I okay now? All right, here I go. Sorry. Kai in the very first sense of Black student on campus, and he did that in order to promote Black History Month, inviting everybody in the class. And so as soon as I heard about this award, I immediately thought of Kai. Zoom, I've really gotten a chance to get to know.
Susan, you're still cutting up, and we barely could hear or make out anything.
Okay. How's any better now?
No, it is not. While Susan gets back online, we will hear from Kai.
Hello, everyone. I want to first thank you all for acknowledging me for this award, especially as student activism for me is something that is very near and dear to my heart. Because to quote the late, great Keith Parker, is activism is not a choice. It is a way of life for our existence in some of these spaces. And our existence here is a complete agitation to the structure of what this university is that coming here to this university is that the illusion I had to kind of deconstruct was that IU is home because it wasn't for me. And it took me time to find my family in a sense. And that is how I found the BSU. And that is how I found Brian Richardson, who was something that really ran me into the O'Neill School, talking and educating me on the ways of life, in a sense of how to stay humble and hungry in this thing for social change. Is that social change is something that does not come in a haste in any way, shape, or form. But what it does do is that it allows you to commit to being an active learner and an active unlearner in this process. And that is something that we can all do in the sense of learning to lead with a little bit more love, learning to lead with a little bit more empathy, and standing up for what it is that you believe is just. Is that finding your voice is something so powerful, because once you do, no one truly can take that away from you. Is that keep your heart in the right place, and that is something that I've definitely led by in my entire time here. So accolades, in a sense, is a way for you to reaffirm your commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. as it should not be an afterthought at this university, as it should be at the very beginning of everything that we do. And that is something amazing to see as we're moving past 2020 and moving into a new age to where we have the ability to reimagine a new normal that values the voices of student activists, that values the voices of underrepresented populations and celebrates that word because it is something that is beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kai. And thank you, special thank you to all the family who are on the call this evening. Thank you so much for supporting your loved ones. This means a lot to me, and I'm sure it means a lot to them as well. Next, I'd like to introduce our graduate student of the year. Congrats to Sabrina Brandt. The Graduate Student of the Year recipients had made significant accomplishments in and efforts towards promoting the principles of academic excellence in diversity, equity, and inclusion. Congratulations, Sabrina. Sabrina Brandt is deserving of the Graduate Student of the Year award. She is more than willing to elevate the voices of others. Their hard work and dedication has been displayed over the 2 years she has been with O'Neill. Sabrina is instrumental in creating the first step handbooks for the DEI office. She had the vision to help those who had difficulties in starting having these hard conversations. They strive to create tangible materials to help others be well informed. And since knowing Sabrina, I have seen the passion of the DEI initiatives, not only in her hard work as a graduate assistant, but her work with her nonprofit organizations and the Boys and Girls Club. In fact, she has been volunteering her time with these off campus organizations since moving here to Bloomington. With all her extracurricular activities, Sabrina still maintains a high grade point average. She will be dearly missed as this is her last semester. So we thank Sabrina so much. And Sabrina, would you like to share a few words?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for this recognition. It's really an incredible honor, and I was genuinely surprised, actually. So I just really appreciate this. And just thank you to everyone who's nominated me, and again to the team who put this event together and everyone who's here today. I really appreciate this opportunity, and I'm just really thankful for the wonderful people that I've gotten the chance to work with at the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. So Dr. Stannon for just being a great supervisor and mentor. Been mentioned already, but soon to be Dr. Brian Richardson Jr. has been an amazing role model for me and just really helps me build my confidence in this area. Dennis Vera, who is my coworker and is also an incredibly deserving person of this award too, frankly. And I'm just so glad to have met her and known her. And other students who have been working in this office that I've gotten closer to and just worked with a lot, including Jackson and Anaga and Natalie. So just thank you all so much for that. I wanted to just say, I feel like I might be preaching to the choir a little bit, but when I was an undergrad, I actually didn't do a lot of work with the Office of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion. I did mostly just community service stuff, but it was one thing I really regretted, and I just feel so lucky to have had the second chance during my master's to get involved with these initiatives in our school. So I just feel like if anybody has any kind of capacity to work in their diversity office and you haven't already, I really believe that you should. It's just a really amazing opportunity. And if you have just any commitment to the mission, that is enough. I feel like some stories that I could say that just paint the picture of how willing and able the team of the office is to make your ideas become a reality is when I came up with the idea to make those booklets, I just kind of had this idea because frankly, there's people in my life that say, I just wish I had a piece of paper to tell me what to say and what not to say. And out of frustrating conversations, I just wanted to make a little pamphlet just to maybe have on our website or something like that, or turn into like a one-time program. But Brian Richardson Jr. encouraged me to make this whole pamphlet and get a bunch of them printed and wanted them to be printed for every single student at the O'Neill School for their first week during an in-person orientation, and also was trying to get them mass produced for the entire school. So that was just a little idea that I had, and I just feel like it really was the leadership in this office that helped encourage me and other students alike that just have little ideas that they could really go far. Um, I also planned like this women's march in like literally 2 days because I had an idea for it during like this national day for it. And Brian Richardson Jr. was like, do it. And I did it. And it was so random and crazy, but it happened. And I just, again, I feel like it's definitely worth getting involved in the office if you have the opportunity to do so, because you really have no idea what you could bring to the table and like how much you can impact your community. And while I just have the floor for a minute, I feel like it's just worth talking about COVID and just reminding us about life right now, but also how it could help us reflect. I feel like a lot of people can think about the countless ways that COVID has messed up their life somehow, whether it's literally messed it up or just little things like can't accept an award in person and things like that. And I feel like maybe for people who feel like they don't relate enough to these causes to get involved, things like this that seem like undeserving losses from this happen to historically oppressed people all the time. There's undeserving losses and penalties. And if you care about undeserving losses, then I just would encourage you to get involved. And also just thinking about MLK and just learning more about his life. I've been learning recently about his efforts to stop the war in Vietnam because it had the same issues as racism in our country. It was basically racism and creating poverty and over militarization overseas. And to me, it was just empowering to see that it wasn't just his means that were non-violence, but it was his cause. And I just think it's really important to think about intersectionality of what's important to you. And if you have certain values that you practice and think and feel in your life, then go for it and just get involved in any way you can, because you really have no idea how much of a big impact you could make by getting involved. So yeah, thank you so much again for this award. I'm kind of speechless and overwhelmed, and I really appreciate everybody being here today. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Sabrina, and thank you for your efforts and good work. I just wanted to also add on to the mission and vision of our office and what are we doing here, right? We're not just doing these DEI initiatives to promote ourselves. We really are trying to change the culture of the within the O'Neill School, and then broader to the IU campus, broader to our different communities. And where we start this work, we're teaching, each one teach one, right? And so as we grow and as we develop, we help each other by elevating the voices, right? Challenging those perceptions. That's what we're standing on. That's what we're standing for. So as we continue to do these efforts, I hope I get to collaborate with all the people who are in the attendance some way or somehow, creating new initiatives, creating new ideas, being innovative in these events and trainings and workshops. And so we really are excited to have the new director. We are super excited to have an assistant director on the IUPUI's campus so we can continue to do this work. And I would be remiss for not thank my committee who helped select these individuals. And also special thanks to our interns and our diversity ambassadors who continue to help make these events possible. And so I just wanted to also plug in that the GPSG is having Earth Day Summit April 9th through the 11th, as well as they're going to be the SEPA Symposium Friday, April 16th. So as we continue to share those events, please find yourselves in attendance and helping support more of these efforts. Thank you all for coming to our event this evening. We love to celebrate each other. We love to have you, and we thank you all.